Guys, I am so pissed at the Pope right now. I know that sounds like a ridiculous statement or joke, but I'm being 100% serious. The Pope made a speech earlier today in Vatican City calling surrogacy or using a gestational carrier deplorable and saying that the practice should be banned worldwide. The entire speech was so off the mark, so misguided, and clearly shows he lacks complete understanding about what surrogacy can offer patients. He said it preys on the poor, it forces poor women to give up their babies, and it's selfish of parents. Why don't they just adopt? You would think that public figures like the Pope would do a little bit of research, at least their team would, before making an entire speech like this that offends swaths of people and patients with infertility that have been struggling to build their families. There are so many reasons why people use surrogacy, and this is highly offensive. It makes absolutely no sense and is completely ironic considering how progressive he presents himself to be. He finally permitted Roman Catholic priests to bless same-sex couples. Well, I got news for you, Pope Francis. How do you think same-sex male couples build their families? Using an egg donor and a surrogate. So many other reasons why people might need surrogacy to help. Fibroids are extremely common, and despite having treatment options like surgery, sometimes that's not enough to rectify the issue, and some patients have required multiple surgeries leading to scar tissue, and the uterus just is never the same. And in those cases, surrogacy can provide a great avenue to still use your own eggs, create embryos with your partner or donor sperm, and to have someone else carry the pregnancy for you. There can also be other gynecologic issues that are not that uncommon, like adenomyosis, where you have endometriosis in the muscle wall of the uterus. And some, not all patients, will have really extreme cases that can limit the ability for an embryo to implant, and using a surrogate can be a great way to overcome this. I've had patients with MRKH where they're born without a uterus. And in those instances, is it fair to say just because that's the card that they were dealt, that they shouldn't have the right to rely on a gestational carrier to build their family? What about cancer survivors who would be putting themselves in harm's way at real risk of recurrence if they were to carry a pregnancy and this is their only shot at building a family? Are we going to really say that we can let cancer rob them of that chance or opportunity? There's so many different applications for surrogacy in my world as a fertility doctor. And I know that if I feel this offended, I can only imagine how people that have actually relied on surrogacy to build their families, or who need surrogacy to build their families one day in the future, how they must feel. It's really unfair, and he should never have said these things. And I'm sorry to anyone else who feels offended or upset by it.